I keep trying to explain to you, I don't have a gadget arm. It can't extend all the way over there where you flop down after you beg me to pet you, okay? So let's work with me here. Oh, hi. You find yourself lost in Irvingland.
The energizing module still malfunctioning. Showing a deviation of 3 paraseconds per astrocycle.
Any chance of repairing it in flight?
We'll have to set down somewhere. There's not enough room on board to dismantle it.
The technology isn't technologying. It's showing a deviation of several technologies per technology. And we'll have to set it down. There's not enough room to technology it in here. While they look for a planet, the robot is acting strange.
What do you see out there, robot?
Loneliness.
What did you say?
Never mind.
Maybe he's been reading too much existential philosophy lately. They've spotted a likely star system, but something else has spotted them.
We're picking up an alien rocket-powered object. It's closing fast on a collision course.
Can you get any signal from it?
I think so, if I can just home in on their frequency.
I bet I can decipher that quicker than the robot can.
Space capsule Alpha 784 has been pulled out.
It's an electronically recorded message from the Zeta Galaxy Law Enforcement Bureau. It states that this space capsule is in isolation and must not be approached for any reason under pain of death.
I can also decipher it correctly. This thing is off limits to every being in every galaxy in the entire universe. That message was actually a warning that it's been pulled out of its established orbit, which it has because it's magnetically latched itself to the Jupiter 2 and is trying to catch up with it.
Coming fast at 3 o'clock.
Brace yourselves because here it comes.
Starting to circle back.
There is no need for immediate concern. The capsule will not strike the Jupiter 2.
And there it goes. It will, however, follow them down and crash land on the planet. Someone else has noticed what's going on.
This is Zeta Law Enforcement. Space capsule Alpha 784 has been pulled out of her isolation orbit. An all-space bulletin is hereby issued. The capsule must be found. This is a code red emergency.
You get the idea that Mr. Spock with a serious vitamin deficiency is in charge of that particular sector of space, and hence that particular quarantine capsule. If you don't know that voice, you have never watched television. For that matter, you may have missed a couple of episodes of this show because we've heard him twice before. Anybody recognize the little frog alien that Penny befriended? Or the voice of the creature that gave Will his wish to be alone last episode? His name was Ron Gans. He started out a bit part actor like most folks do, and the Lost in Space gig was one of his earliest jobs doing voiceover. He kept doing regular parts for a while longer, but got serious about voice acting in the mid-1970s and pretty well lived happily ever after. He was married once for 45 years until his death in 2010. My big question is, why did no cartoon studio discover him sooner? While the men are fixing the ship, Will and the robot will go look for interesting rocks.
It crashed over there. Come on, let's go take a look.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Will listens to the robot about as well as anybody else does.
Space debris. It's just old space junk, isn't it?
It would seem that way.
Then why were you warning me?
Intensely heated objects are extremely dangerous. Undue curiosity will usually produce severely burned fingers.
Burned fingers. Some danger. Well, let's get back to camp. We'll leave our equipment here and come back tomorrow and look for more rocks.
Somehow, I'm not sure the robot is telling everything he knows. He said it would seem so, but didn't confirm what Will said. What is going on with him?
No, don't go. Don't go. Come over here.
Whatever it is, it seems to be female. Now we know what the real danger was that he wanted to protect Will from. Cooties.
Who said that?
Please, I need your help.
You are the space capsule that followed us down to this planet. Something made me lie to Will Robinson about you. I should go now and tell him the truth.
Don't go.
What do you want from me?
She said she needs his help, and yet something about her is making him go against all his programming and lie. That same influence is probably what's keeping him from leaving. Back at the ship, John and Don have worked all day and they've decided to have a picnic.
That wire should phase into the conductor. You know, if this thing tests out, we should be ready for liftoff this evening.
Well, that just about does it.
Now, if we only had the robot to stand between those two power poles, we'd find out if it really did draw cosmic energy.
That's the thingamadoodle they've been fixing. Apparently it's fixed, they just need to test it. Behind some nearby rocks, our pointy-eared cop has sent a couple of his minions to examine the situation and see if the inhabitants of the spaceship are going to cooperate with the search.
Read the creatures at location Z4.
All the most dedicated gamers get the controller implanted in their arm.
You may approach the creatures and make contact with them. From now on, you will be programmed for free determination. If the creatures refuse to answer questions concerning the capsule, destroy them.
Whether they answer or not will depend on what the questions are. For example, if the first question isn't, do you know anything about this capsule? Then you're doing the whole thing wrong, because since the answer to that question is no, there are no valid questions beyond it. I'm not sure this guy can think that abstractly, and his two android goons definitely can't. Basically, they're mechanical idiots with free will and weapons.
Very good. I can breathe again. Now carry me to safety.
No, I have done enough already. What is happening? What are you doing to me?
Do as I say. Carry me to safety.
Speaking of free will and weapons, I think our robot may be in a little bit of trouble. Now I'm picturing Will running up to the robot going, "Danger, Robot Robinson! Danger, danger!"
Your leader.
I'm John Robinson. We're travelers from the planet Earth.
We have come for the return of capsule 784.
784.
It has crash landed on this planet.
Uh-huh. And that has what to do with us?
We've seen no sign of a space capsule.
It is imperative you return capsule Alpha 784 and its contents.
He just told you they don't have it. In fact, if you had been listening, you would have realized that he told you he has no idea what you're talking about.
Why don't you go see if any of the others know something about this?
Yeah.
Now, surely we can talk this over peacefully.
We are not programmed for discussion.
Get inside.
All right, we'll try to comply in every way we can.
It's not hard to figure out that these two are computerized dimwits, so there's little point in trying to talk to them.
You will return capsule 784, or we must activate attack programming.
Tell you what, you hand it to me and I'll return it to you at once, because that's the only way I'm going to have any idea what you're yammering about.
What did it look like? I mean, was it round or was it shaped like a bullet? What?
John, I'm going to activate the force field. Run!
The force field is strong enough to withstand their weaponry, but since these two are highly complex electronic idiots, they'll just stand there and keep shooting. The robot appears but lies about where he's been. Right now, the main thing is to get inside that force field.
The space capsule you seek is hidden behind those rocks. Run, Will Robinson.
He told them he's programmed for truth and then lied to them. I'm sure he'll justify it by saying he didn't tell them how far behind those rocks. The fact that it's several miles must have just slipped his mind. Now that everyone is inside the force field, they figured out two things. First, those androids sort of power down at night, so they probably run on solar energy. Second, they need a really big gun.
Easy to easy.
Something like that. They'll use it in the morning. Through the night, they'll do guard duty in 2-hour shifts, including Dr. Smith. I don't know why they depend on him for anything. You'd think they'd know better by now. The robot turns off the force field and slips off to have a midnight liaison with his new girlfriend.
You've come back. I knew you wouldn't desert me.
I tried, but I could not stay away. I know you are evil, but I had to come back. You are the only one of my kind that I have seen in so long.
Of course. Of course I understand completely. Come closer and let us talk.
You thought I was exaggerating. The robot is lonely. Over the course of 3 seasons, he's developed sort of like the Bicentennial Man. He's grown emotions and she's manipulating them. Dude didn't know when he had it good. Too bad he can't just turn them off like Data can. It's morning, Dr. Smith. This is your wake-up call.
One thing I'll say about you, Smith, you're consistent.
Now, how did that force field get turned off? How should I know? You're on guard duty. That's how you should know.
But you were asleep, weren't you?
As usual, he'll get away with it without any consequences at all. Mainly because there's no time for it right now.
All right, girls, get below. Strap in.
Right.
Will, get me the laces and bring me the robot. I'll need him to help me build a barricade.
Yes, sir.
Smith, you're the bait. You go out there and turn yourself into those guys so they're looking at you when we shoot them.
Now! It worked.
It didn't destroy them, but if they keep up the pressure, it'll prevent those guys from coming close enough to fire those weapons they have.
Well! All right, where's the robot?
I don't know, Dad. I've looked for him, but I don't think he's anywhere on board.
That's a problem. Let's focus on the important things.
You see, it's the robot that's to blame for keeping the force field turned off, not idle.
And you were on guard duty, so you didn't stop him, or at least turn it back on, because...
Listen, that trigger mechanism, still too tight.
Well, I've got some module springs inside. You think that would help?
That should loosen them up. Let's get them.
Turn the force field on. I told you to turn the force field on.
Now I am ready to activate. There.
Thank you.
You are quite welcome.
She's fully assembled and mobile. She moves on a set of tracks like he does.
Perfect. Just perfect.
No, far from it. But I could be perfect. We could be perfect.
How?
We'd need a subatomic energizer.
But we could be happy just the way we are.
Nope, she doesn't want to be happy. She wants to conquer the universe. Because who doesn't? There's only one such energizer on the planet, and it's powering the Jupiter 2's force field.
Don't tell me about force fields. Why should we worry about the humans?
You probably don't have a reason. He, on the other hand, has been through enough with them that they've become genuine friends. He has every reason to care about them.
Who is there?
Don't worry. It's only me.
You should not have come here, Will Robinson.
What are you doing in here?
It does not concern you, Will Robinson.
Alpha 784. You took the lost space capsule those aliens are looking for.
The robot doesn't have a good answer.
What are you acting so funny for? Honest, we're still friends. No matter what you were doing in here, I wouldn't tell anyone.
You will not say anything to the others?
Honest, I won't.
And you will leave here, never to return?
I wouldn't come back unless you wanted me to.
You may leave.
He trusts Will because he's learned that Will is trustworthy. His girlfriend doesn't trust either of them. She says, no, you have to kill him. He says, wrong, we'll hold him hostage and exchange him for the Energizer. At the ship, John doesn't have much choice. Whoever this guy is, he's not our robot anymore. Before this episode, it seemed like any time he got like that, all somebody had to do was pull his power pack. I don't know why they didn't do that now and just follow his tracks back to wherever he came from. This plan isn't going to work because he'll detect them following and chase them away. You know, a lot of things in these people's lives would go a lot more smoothly if they would just listen to me. The robot is true to his word. He releases Will.
I hope you realize the spot you're leaving everyone in, taking that Energizer.
That is not my concern. I have my own life to live.
I guess that means we're not friends anymore.
Go back to your people. I will stay here with mine.
She's bad, Robot. She's not good for you.
You are only a little boy. You cannot know about these things.
Oh, I know. You think you're in love with her.
The robot says, I am in love with her, now go.
Leave here before I forget that we were once friends.
I guess that answers Will's question.
If we get the sub-energizer together in time, it still might not generate enough power to get the force field back in working order.
Well, that's all academic now. The important thing is that Will's back and he's safe.
Please define safe.
John.
I'm telling you, before we get done here, somebody is going to teach us how to do that.
Please excuse the rashness of my friends. That's the trouble with being computer-oriented beings. Once they're programmed, they're never any good for independent thinking.
Yet you went ahead and sent them. I really want to hear you explain why.
We've traced a missing space capsule to this planet.
We don't know where it is. We've already explained that to your aides.
But I know it's here on this planet. It has to be.
A planet is a big place, dude. All you know is it crashed on this planet. It could be on the other side of the planet. It could be hundreds of Gerfels away from here. Why do you assume they have anything to do with it? This guy isn't much of a cop. He says he saw it crash here. So go find it, officer. Leave the innocent people alone. And next time, don't be lazy. Do your own legwork instead of sending your brainless drones. I want to speak to your manager.
If I told you what was in that space capsule, perhaps then you'd help us find it.
Perhaps.
It contained a marvelously superior robot. It was evil incarnate, contaminating everything and everyone that came within its reach. It nearly destroyed an entire world before we caught it.
Who built it and why?
And even its parts were so superior they could not be destroyed. Our only choice was to disassemble it, place it in this space prison, and orbit it into outer space to be there for all time to come.
That is the stupidest plan I ever heard. This is a robot. It's not a living creature. Put the parts in a great big rocket. Now, see that star that this planet is orbiting? Point the rocket at it and light the fuse. Problem solved. Thing is, Will heard all that and he's heading back to the cave. The robot is a total love slave now. He'll do whatever she tells him to do even when he knows it's wrong. He's been giving her periodic treatments with the Energizer and she's getting stronger.
See what you have done for me? Together we'll be the most powerful creatures in the universe. We'll rule forever.
I do not know about all this. It makes my head spin.
He's having second thoughts because things are happening so fast, but she has such a hold on him that he can't leave. I hate to say it, but been there, done that.
Will. Why have you come back here, Will Robinson?
Kill him. Kill him now.
Don't listen to her, Robot. She's evil. She's evil, just like I told you she was.
Destroy him. If you really love me, destroy him.
I know all about her, Robot. Those aliens who came looking for her told us why she was in that capsule.
Don't listen to him. He'll tell you all lies about me.
The eternal cry of the guilty. It's all lies. It's a hoax. It's a witch hunt. Somebody's out to get me. Blah, blah, blah.
She's so bad they had to lock her up and orbit her in space forever just to get rid of her.
Lies. I told you he'd tell lies about me.
It's the truth, Robot. She uses people. She makes him evil like her, and then she goes about hurting and destroying things all around the universe. She doesn't really love you. She's just using you.
She's got nothing, your basic bluster and dodge. And temptation, which is what's gotten her this far.
Don't listen to him. You and I will be together forever.
Tell him about all the other times you've said that.
That got his attention, because if she's played this game before, then Will is probably right.
Have there been other robots before me?
I told you not to listen to him. It's all lies. If you don't destroy him, I will. Stop him!
She was going to kill Will rather than answer his question, which is an answer in itself. She says, we have to kill all the humans and get the Energizer back. He continues to protest, but follows her anyway.
Powerful energy force detected from direction Z14.
I wonder what it could be. The robot says, leave him alone. We have the Energizer. There's no need to kill him.
He is a human. He is an enemy. He must die.
You like to destroy, don't you?
You're weak like all the rest of them. I'll do it myself.
Will! That's smarts.
We never will find out what that beam is or what it does beyond being able to say it does that. She says, now it's your turn, Will Robinson.
Stop! You'll never get away. Give yourself up while there's still a chance.
But you'll lock me away in that capsule again.
It's better than being dematerialized.
You said you couldn't do that. The parts were too strong.
Yes, you're right. I've been evil, and I have to take my punishment. And it is better than being dematerialized.
Is he really that easy? Yes, he is. He was that gullible for the rest of his life, which was about 6 seconds before he dematerialized. The Galactic Police Force in action. Don't you feel safe now? John noticed that after she destroyed the cop and his coplets, she seemed to lack enough power to come after them, too. They'll go out tonight with radar scopes to try and locate her. If they play this right, they may be able to deal with her before she regains her energy.
Dad, this is Will. We've covered the whole sector northeast of the ship and still no sign of her. We're going to move to the northwest sector now. Over and out.
William, this is extremely heavy. You ridiculous roue. We have all been placed in jeopardy of our lives because of a tawdry affair of yours.
By the time he's done being cruel, the robot is crying. Will gets an intense reading on his scope, so he and the robot go to tell John about it. Dr. Smith, of course, wants to take a nap.
Good heavens, how is one expected to get one's rest? What is that absurd noise? No!
If there's one thing Zachary Smith truly excels at, it's making the dumbest decision possible. He immediately goes into his brown-nosing act.
I had no idea from that oversized oaf that you were such a distinguished lady. Enchanté, madame. May I present myself? Dr. Zachary Smith, at your service.
Don't smudge my metalwork. You'll keep it from glistening in the moonlight.
Madam, let me explain.
Yuck!
Hey, Zach, she doesn't have a brown place to put your nose. I don't think she's impressed with your nose.
Bye, Dr. Smith. See you tomorrow. Bright and early.
Give her a break. She hasn't done the evil laugh since they locked her up. She's out of practice. Back at the ship, the boys are wiring up their picnic blanket again.
We don't even know if the ionic grid is powerful enough to do the job.
Well, it better be. It's our only hope. Now, what I'm worried about is the robot.
How do we know that he'll turn on that grid at the right time? What if it draws too much cosmic power? You know, with that cosmic energy running directly through the robot, he could be destroyed just like that.
Well, if that grid fails to work properly and doesn't stop her, we could all be destroyed.
Something she hasn't mentioned yet. Neither she nor the robot knows how to fly the Jupiter 2. What's her plan for getting off this planet? Will the robot come through in the clinch? There's only one way to find out. First, we need an episode title drop.
If John can rewire that grid, we'll be able to defeat that creature.
You're right. I mean no offense, madam, but whoever it was that said that the female was the deadliest of all the species was certainly correct. For as everybody knows, the female is far deadlier than the male.
Well, it was Rudyard Kipling, and that is not exactly the right quote.
Details, madam, mere details.
Dude, I want you to think about where you are right now. You're surrounded by females who really don't like you, and you're insulting them. If the female is that deadly, you may wish to reconsider. Good thing for him, Maureen has more important things on her mind.
It's time that you joined the women in the second line of defense. Penny and Judy?
Yes, Mom?
Break out the lasers.
Here they are.
Thank you. Now, if that grid out there fails, we're the second line of defense.
Stay here and fight with the women? Never.
Well, you know what the alternative is.
Out there fighting with the men?
Exactly.
Keep in mind, we're in the mid-60s and Smith is a male chauvinist pig. So to him, staying here with the women is tantamount to being put in a playpen and told to stay out of the way. Granted, that would be much more effective than this, but they sold their playpen for fuel back on Argle Fargle 6. It's time to test the grid. The robot knows how dangerous his part in this is, but he says this is his doing. He has to help set it right.
Contact.
He's going to explode.
Is something wrong, or is it supposed to burn big holes in itself like that? I guess the holes are part of the deal because John pronounces it a success and the robot is okay. If our nemesis is made of rocks, we're ready for her. Now we wait.
I'm sorry, Robot. I really hope she goes away and doesn't bother us. But I just don't think she will.
Danger!
Give those guys a break, lady. They didn't even have time to pee.
Contact!
Laser blast can't hurt me anymore. Nothing can. I'll give you just one more chance for true happiness.
Now, robot, now!
Don't just stand there looking ridiculous. Move aside and let me pass.
If you're trying to sweet talk him, there's something I need to explain to you.
What do you think you're doing there anyway? I beg you not to.
Didn't the poor man's Romulan say they couldn't figure out how to do that? Her parts were so tough nobody could find a way to destroy them? I think the Galactic Police Force owes the Robinsons a medal and a nice fat reward, say 5 years worth of deuteronium fuel. That's a good start. But if our man was an example of his police department, they probably don't even know their boy's missing yet. The ship is ready to leave, but Will can't find the robot. He's been gone for several hours.
Robot, where have you been? We've been looking all over for you.
I had some work I had to finish. I reconstituted her from the remains of her ionic particles. Then I reworked her micromechanism and removed all the evil orientations.
Now she goes around giving flowers to everyone. And for reasons that continue to escape me, he'll leave her here, even though he could now take her along and have companionship. The official explanation is, just go with it. The taller of those two androids survived the evil robot's attack, and when it was all over, he wanted a change of scenery. He decided to go to Earth, but his spacecraft moved so much faster than the speed of light, he found himself on Earth in the 1940s in the midst of a global war. It didn't take him long to figure out who the good guys were, so he joined the American military and became a fighter pilot. One day, he was shot down over the area known as the Bermuda Triangle, and when he awoke, he found himself on the strangest island he could ever imagine, and soon found his fate entwined with that of the most incredible woman he had ever seen. She said her name was Diana something or other. He could never remember the rest. All he knew was he was glad she was around. The difference in Earth's gravity versus his own world meant he was a bit of a klutz, so it seemed like she was constantly coming to his rescue. He never told his superiors about her, so they all thought he was the best thing ever. In fact, He racked up so many successes, they started calling him Wonder Man. When he told his lady protector about it, she said, that gives me an idea.
If you enjoyed this episode, click the like button and let us know. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you always know what is happening, because something is always happening here at Irving Zoo. We make sure of it. We control his computer. Until next time.